staff will select a Piatt-DeWitt County Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, whose play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon post-game broadcast, and that player receives a certificate. Find out the many services provided by Serpro of Piatt-DeWitt counties by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
It is WHOW. Good morning. Welcome in to the morning show. I'm local farm broadcaster Jared White, taking over the morning show here for a half hour as we celebrate National FFA Week all week long, thanks to our many fine sponsors. And in this segment of today's program, we welcome in folks from the MacArthur High School FFA in Decatur. And joining us, we have Jamie Keck. She is the vice president. Hannah Sullivan is the president. Probably should have started with the president. Sorry, Hannah. Also, Camden Dowers is the treasurer and Section 16 treasurer as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time out. How's it going?
It's going great.
Don't be bashful now that the mics are on. Come on now. Welcome back to the Big Red Barn. This same group came from MacArthur last year to do this, and we didn't scare you away. So you came back to tell us about National FFA Week. Jamie, we'll start with you. How's National FFA Week going?
So it's been going pretty good so far. We've had a lot of great activities lined up. We started with dress-up days, so we didn't have school on Monday, so we didn't get to do any dress-up days for that. But we've had Animal Planet Day, where everybody got to dress up as animals, Ag Career Day, where people were dressing for success, whatever ag career they wanted to have. Today is Flannel Day, and then tomorrow is going to be Blue and Gold Day. So we've had quite a few people engaging in those dress-up days, and we got them approved by the school, so everybody gets to do them. So yeah.
You mentioned approved by the school, and that's kind of a big thing at MacArthur, right?
Yeah. So we did recently get rid of our dress code, so it's not like there's much of it's not as big of a block as it used to be, but it's still really good to be able to do these more like things with hats or things where like wearing FFA jackets in school and stuff. That's really cool.
That's awesome that the school's behind it, though. And yeah. Hannah, Ms. President, how has the planning gone for FFA Week this year with the officer team and with the chapter?
It's gone really well. We've had pretty much activities. We're planning activities all day this week. So we started off on Tuesday where our officers actually came in and gave all of our freshmen intro classes like a job interview workshop. And so we talked about the importance of skill, like having job interview skills. We talked about the importance of finding a good employer even. And then the kids, talked to each other. They gave each other like mock interview questions. And then today we're having like a big chapter meeting where we're going to play kickball out at our Living Science farm. And so those are two pretty big activities that we have planned. Also today we're planning to put together some legislative baskets for our lobbyists and the people who advocate for agriculture education. And so we're putting those together and we're going to be giving those out later this week too.
Wow, that's awesome. But a kickball tournament today.
Yes.
That's going to be a muddy good old time right there.
Yeah. Fortunately though, we were able to find a place with I don't know if it's much better, but we're going to have like a concrete concrete kickball thing. So.
Gotcha. I was going to say it could be fun either way, but it's going to be fun either way. That's what I meant to say. And Camden, let's get you in here. When you look at FFA Week and all these different activities, what's your favorite part of FFA Week at MacArthur?
My favorite part would probably be the dress-up days. I had the opportunity on Animal Planet Day to dress up in a giant inflatable giraffe costume, so that was pretty fun. I got to have our teacher wear it and walk through the halls because I probably would have gotten sent home wearing it according to our dress code. But yeah, just getting the opportunity to see a bunch of the other students participate in our dress-up days and show that they love the ag program as much as we do is probably the best part.
Do you get a lot of participation at MacArthur from the non-FFA students?
The people who want to be want to be engaged really do get engaged. For Just for Success Day, we had this person Eddie dress up in an official dress, which was really cool because they're an underclassman. So it was like getting to see how these people really want to engage with FFA, and it really was great.
Yeah. So what would you say the highlight is of FFA Week for you guys?
For my personal highlight was yesterday when we got to bring in my baby goats from the farm. We set up a little stall enclosure in the middle of our classroom, and we had them in there, and we got to show them off to all the different classes, and everybody was really interested. It was great.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's not every day you get baby goats in class,
Yeah.
right? Anna, what about you?
My favorite part about FFA week is just like I really like the opportunity to actually like go into the freshman classes and like interact with some of the freshmen, because sometimes like not everybody shows up to things that are outside of school, so being able to like see the kids who are actually in these ag classes and like encourage them to be involved in stuff was like a highlight of my week.
It sounds like you're taking the mentoring role very, very importantly. I mean, that's not the right word I'm looking for, but it sounds like you're taking that to heart, that being an upperclassman, being the president, being a mentor is important to you.
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially since the majority of our team are upperclassmen. We really have to mentor these lowerclassmen so that when it comes time to where they do need to step up, they're ready and they know what it takes. So I think that's important.
Yeah. Again, we're talking with folks from the MacArthur FFA High School, or MacArthur High School FFA chapter, and a couple of things that you've brought up. Jamie, you mentioned the farm. Hannah, you mentioned the farm. Let's talk about the farm. What is the farm?
So we have a living science farm out near Enterprise, which is now American Dreamers STEM Academy. So out there we have a whole lot of like goats, chickens, ducks. We recently processed our pigs and raffled off that meat. That was a really good experience. And it's really just a farm that lets our urban chapter get that kind of rural experience, get to work with these large animals that we probably wouldn't have the chance to work with otherwise. Me personally, I have an SAE project out there taking care of goats. I bought a Boer goat doe, and she had 2 babies, and I'm raising them for market. So it's just a really good experience to learn more about agriculture in general.
I want to ask a question you may not know, but how is this farm funded? Is that funded through Decatur Public Schools? Or?
So it was initially funded through the Howard G. Buffett Foundation. We got all that money to make it and put all of that together, and now it's funded through our FFA chapter, and we get money from ADM, all those places. So yeah.
Community support there.
Yeah,
that's awesome, because I mean, you're a prime example of somebody that's taking advantage of that opportunity, and I'm sure there's many others in the chapter. Do you, Hannah, Camden, do you guys take part in activities at the farm?
Yeah, we're actually planning, and we have had a couple months ago we hosted a farm day for a bunch of kids in the district to come and tour our farm, and so we're actually planning some more activities like that for a project that actually I'm working on, where we do agriculture education with a kindergarten classroom that is actually at American Dreamers. And so we were supposed to have that farm day this week actually, but unfortunately due to the rain we were unable to go up to the farm. So next week we're actually having a really big farm day with those kindergartners, and we're doing different breakout groups to teach them about the different animals that we have at our farm and the different equipment that we have. And so we can really utilize the farm as a tool to also teach others outside of our chapter.
Yeah, and what a great resource.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. So Camden?
I don't necessarily have a project out there. I'm just do more of the maintenance side. So I go out there with other people while they're doing their products. I usually clean up the farm. I take out the trash, move the equipment around. I do more of the back end of the farm that the flashy cameras don't get to see.
The grunt work, right? But it's needed on a farm, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But still that's a great point right there, that it sounds like the students are doing the upkeep and the maintenance, and it's hands-on.
Yeah.
Real world experience.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. And again, with the MacArthur High School FFA chapter this morning, and you guys were telling me that you mentioned ADM supports the farm, but you've had an opportunity to work with ADM here recently.
So we've grown our connection with ADM. I feel like this year, at first they came and they came to our school actually to look at some cool new technology that we were able to get called the Farm Bot. And so we had some people at ADM come look at our Farm Bot, which is basically it kind of farms for you. It's a little bit automated. And so we've been working on that. And then following that, we did a tour of an ADM facility, and that was really cool because it was a food science and food testing facility. And we were able to take a tour and actually do some activities with them. We did triangle tests with some sugar-free products that they were developing, and we were able to try these like chickenless like chicken nuggets that they were trying to develop. And so I think that was a really cool experience for me because I'm very interested in food science. So that was a really cool tour that we did. And actually this week, some ADM people are coming in and doing like a career panel for our freshmen again for FFA week on Friday. And so I think that connection with ADM growing is like a really great thing for our chapter. And we are interested in like continuing to do that, and also maybe even like do some job shadow days in the future and stuff like that. So I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, that is a great networking opportunity for the students and great resource really for ADM when you think about it. But I have to go back, Hannah. You mentioned a farm bot.
Yes.
You're going to have to explain the farm bot.
Oh, maybe Camden can explain the farm bot.
The farm bot is a piece of technology that we purchased over this past summer. It is an automated machine that allows us, so it came in a box of parts that we had to put together. However, it sits on I want to say it's an 8-foot long farm bed, and it's 8 foot by 3 foot, I believe. And so it sits on tracks and it moves along. It can plant, it can water, it can perform soil tests. It has cameras to monitor the plants. In all, can basically do all of the farming by itself, I believe, and you can add attachments later on to allow it to even harvest the different fruits, vegetables, or things like that you're growing. And it has just allowed us to introduce the world of agriculture to the students that might not have the opportunity to go to farms or even go to our own living science farm. Just allow us to introduce them to that in the classroom, so then possibly grow their love for agriculture like we've grown ours and move that forward for them.
So really, wow, sounds like an amazing piece of technology, and it's in the classroom.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to have to come check that out sometime.
100%.
Very cool. And as I check the clock here, gang, we need a timeout already. So we better do that. So we will take a timeout. We'll come back and talk a little more. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Again, folks, we are talking this morning with the MacArthur High School FFA chapter. Jamie Keck, Camden Dowers, and Hannah Sullivan join us. Stay with us. More to come here on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Americans care about the environment. We know that farmers do too. Your Illinois Corn Checkoff dollars are connecting those shared values via Illinois Farm Families, an Illinois ag coalition that produces videos for non-farmers showcasing your sustainability practices. We also highlight innovative farm management techniques and renewable products produced with Illinois corn. Farmers grow food and fuel. Your checkoff grows connection and knowledge. A message from the Illinois Corn Marketing Board.
For growers like you, this is more than a profession. It's a way of life, a generational calling, wrapped in community pride. First Mid is a trusted financial partner with comprehensive agribusiness services like lending and insurance. As your ownership or operational needs evolve, you can turn to us for farm management and land sales. We are committed to helping you cultivate a better tomorrow. Because like you, we're not merely invested in the success of your operation, we're homegrown. First Mid, an equal opportunity lender.
Whether it's planting, growing, or harvest season, Ag is your partner every step of the way. Assistant Manager Jason Hunt here with some important reminders. Ag is your crop protection partner during the growing season. From late season seed to nitrogen and side dress 28, as well as fungicide, herbicide, pesticide, and micronutrients your plants need to maximize yield. Ag can take care of your crops all season long, and it's important to have us get your residual chemicals down before putting those beans in the ground to prevent weeds and pests from becoming a problem and cutting your yield. Let Ag be your growing partner every step of the way.
The Macon County Farm Bureau is where membership means value by offering member benefit discounts for members through their Abenity Member Benefits program. It works as an app on your smartphone that gives you access to discounts on things like new tires, cold weather clothes, and a variety of health and wellness benefits to improve your mental and physical health. Find out more at maconcfb.org. That's maconcfb.org. Or call the office at 877-2436. That's 877-2436. The Macon County Farm Bureau is where membership means value.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
It is WHOW. Once again, good morning. Welcome back into the WHOW Morning Show. I'm local farm broadcaster Jared White, again in studio this morning with our friends from the MacArthur High School FFA chapter, Jamie Keck, Camden Dowers, and Hannah Sullivan. Hannah's the president, Jamie the vice president, Camden is the treasurer, and also Section 16 treasurer. And again, folks, we welcome you to the barn. Thank you for taking time out and sharing what's happening during National FFA Week at MacArthur High School. We were chatting during the break, and you guys have been very successful, it sounds like, when it comes to state degrees, proficiencies, and things like that.
Yeah, so a couple of us recently interviewed for our state degree. Me, Jamie, and one of our other students interviewed about 3-4 weeks ago for our state degrees. We all were recommended for our state degrees, which was wonderful. And then I want to say about a week and a half ago, we competed for our proficiency awards. Us three all won our prospective areas. I won ag sales and ag service for my Walmart record book, as well as my solar panel record book as well.
Very good.
And then I won in the safety area.
Yeah,
Jamie.
Yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah, Hannah. I won in the food service area. So
Congratulations.
Thank
That is
you.
awesome. And kind of jumping back, Camden, with the state degrees, explain what that is, that process, and what that means to you.
Well, yeah. So we started off with an application process, making sure that all of our record books that we had put in our AET were spotless. So checking for any grammatical errors, making sure all of our financial records added up and things like that. And then we then submitted that application in to the state. Following that, we were required to do interviews with different members among the section and among the state to see if we qualified through our record books for the state degree. And then after that, the people that interviewed us decided if we were recommended or not. And they, thankfully enough, made the recommendations that all of us are supposed to get our state degree. There's still the opportunity for something to happen, but we are supposed to be in our state degrees this upcoming summer.
At state convention.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Enjoy that. Will you pursue American degrees?
I do plan on it, yes.
Good luck.
I don't think I will.
yeah, I got my state degree last year, and I'm planning on pursuing the American in college.
Very good. Well, good luck with that. And I guess we should probably explain what that means. And for those that aren't familiar, when you go from the state to the American degree, what's that look like?
So you just have to have a lot more additional either funds to your record book or hours in your record book. You also have to be a year out of your FFA program. So technically I do qualify in terms of financial wise for my American degree, but you do have to be out of high school and continue being involved in your project to receive your American degree. And so very few people receive their American degree. You get to go on stage at national convention and receive that one. And so that's a really special honor.
Definitely. Jamie talked a little bit about her record book. Hannah, tell us about yours.
So I have a lot of different record books, but the one that is my primary record book that I won at proficiencies is my food service record book. And so I currently have 2 food service jobs, one at Papa Murphy's and one at Cocoa Day in the Hickory Point Mall. And so working both of those jobs simultaneously has given me a lot of experience in food service. And I do want to go into food science and nutrition. So I think having 2 jobs that were very different has given me a lot of valuable experience. And I'm really glad I do get to use that for my proficiencies and for my state and American degree. And so, yeah, that's been good.
That's a great example of, you don't have to have the cows and sows and plows to be an FFA. I mean, you work jobs, do a record book on your job, and perhaps get an American degree.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Camden, what about you? Tell us about your record.
Yeah, so I do, just like Hannah, do have quite a few record books, but my main 2 were my Walmart book, where I work at our local Walmart over near Forsyth, and that has propelled me in both my hours and my financial entries, as well as my service learning book, which involved me working with another student in our FFA program to research, plan, and then eventually purchase solar panels for one of our local middle schools. We were building a barn. And so I worked with our financial advisor as well as the GRNE solar company to get solar panels for their barn, which came out to actually being free for our FFA program.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see a need and say, that's what we're going to do? That's pretty
Pretty
cool.
much, yeah.
Hats off to you, young
Well,
man.
thank you.
Good stuff right there. Jamie, you mentioned your GOAT record book. Are there others?
Yeah, so I have my GOAT record book. I also have a safety record book where I was a lifeguard this past summer at Splash Cove. Hopefully, I'll get to continue that one. And then I have a couple others that don't have as many hours, but I take care of like animals while people are gone on vacations. That's a really good thing that I get the log hours for. So
Very cool. Very cool. We're running quickly out of time. We got so many other things that we can talk about here. Only about 2 minutes left. But one thing you were telling me about that I want to talk about is the kindergarten club. Tell us
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, so one of my record books and projects is the kindergarten club. And so basically what we do is we are partnered with American Dreamers in their kindergarten like classrooms, and we go in and we do agriculture education lessons with them, primarily focused around like gardening. And so what we do is we like plant seeds with them, and we help them learn how to like take care of plants, and then we eventually bring those plants back to them to plant in their own like environment and in their own garden beds. And so that's been a really awesome like partnership that we've been able to have with American Dreamers. And so that's a program that I really love to do.
And it has an awesome pun in the name, right?
Yes.
Or corny, as some might say. But
yeah.
so what's the response that you get from those kids with learning about gardening?
They're just so engaged with it, and they're so engaged with like doing the activities that we do and being able to like, have their hands in soil and like grow their own plants. I mean, it is really special when you think about it, and seeing young people interact with you shows you how like magical it really is to like, grow something from scratch. It's really awesome.
Wow, great opportunities. Sounds like great things are happening at the MacArthur FFA chapter. It really does. And along those lines, if we want to follow along, keep tracks of upcoming events, things like that, how do we do that?
So we have multiple social media pages. You can follow our Facebook or our Instagram at Decatur MacArthur FFA. We're always posting there. This week we're doing social media takeovers from all the officers, so you'll get to see all those. It's a lot of fun.
All right, so check it out, follow along. Thank you for coming in, gang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of National FFA Week. Again, our guest this morning from the MacArthur High School FFA chapter, Jamie Keck, Camden Dowers, and Hannah Sullivan, all joining us here during National FFA Week on WHOW.
WHOW.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The U.S. economy's expansion slowed toward the end of last year, the economy growing at a 2.7% annual rate in the fourth quarter of 2022. The upper Midwest among regions hit hard by a brutal winter storm that spread snow and ice across a wide part of the northern U.S., resulting in